Shush. Shush. So I'm out here and I'm listening to the cicadas. And of course the dog has come out and barked, and so now they got all quiet. I hope you can hear them. Um, so, a couple things going on. This weekend, the reason why I'm making a video now is this weekend I'll be going out to camping out on Ed's property this weekend. For those who don't know, that's Prepper Nurse 1. And so this is my video. You see all my marigolds. My marigolds are just bursting right there. See there? They pretty. They pretty. I'm sorry this video isn't as good as off my cell phone. This is off my tablet. And you can see all my chickens right here. They all out here waiting on me to come feed them. Of course, they got plenty of food there. They got enough food there to last them 2 or 3 days. But I like to, when it's hot out like it's been today, I like to bring them frozen treats out, you know, just to give them something. So they had frozen watermelon and cantaloupe yesterday, so that's why today they're not getting anything, because they got a bunch of it yesterday, and so we don't want to give them too much fruit at one time, you know. A lot of things going on. For those of you who don't know, Snyder, that's a trucking company. It has the orange trucks, for those who don't know. Snyder just bought M&M Transport. So that means Snyder's going to be doing a little bit more of the LTL freight. That's basically what M&M Transport was doing, kind of like Yellow. There's been a bunch of over-the-road drivers saying that DOT is out like mad, and you know, we just went through the week-long thing with the brake checking. A lot of people got away with just shutting down for the week, but to be aware that DOT is out, and is probably a holdover from the holiday. I don't think that there was a lot of people running over the holiday, so I think they didn't make their quota, and so I think that's why they're out this week. There is a hurricane coming in along the East Coast, so if you're driving along the East Coast, please keep an eye on your radar and try and be aware of what you're driving into. And for those who live on the East Coast like me, try and get your stuff together so that when this does hit, it's supposed to hit sometime over the weekend. If it does hit, I mean, it's still in question right now whether or not it's going to hit. If it does hit, please have your stuff together so that you have your family taken care of, right? That includes, you know, let's go over the basics, okay? That includes making sure you have water or something to drink. Preferably water, but I know if you're like me, I like to have some sodas on hand too, okay? So you want water, you want to have food for a couple days. This is non-refrigerated foods, okay? Not foods in your freezer, not foods in your refrigerator. These are like foods that you can eat straight out of the can, or freeze-dried foods that you can just eat as is, okay? So, or you know, have the ability to make like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? or potted meat sandwiches, something of this nature, uh, for 3 or 4 days. Because we know, living here on the East Coast, when a hurricane comes through, it normally takes a day or two for the power to come back on. That being said, a lot of the power companies have been busy upgrading their power lines and upgrading their power meters. Mine got upgraded today, unfortunately. So I say unfortunately because, they're putting smart meters everywhere. So be aware that those crews are out there, and they are really doing a lot of tearing up and a lot of road along the roadways. So be aware they're there. And I really don't have much more to say, except for the fact that, I'm still trying to get my generator to work. It's just not working. And I'm thinking that the issue is going to be the carburetor. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to order a new carburetor and have a new carburetor put on it. I don't know. I got so much else going on. I'll get to it when I get to it. We just doing our thing, right? It looks like housing prices are starting to fall because no one's buying. Same thing is happening with campers, with cars and trucks. Everything is dropping in price because people aren't buying, except for food. Food and essentials are rising in price because there's less of it and more people are buying it. So, keep an eye on that in your area. I went to Walmart the other day, and I just went in there for a couple items for this weekend because, like I said, I'm going to Ed's this weekend. Go camping and go out there and kind of get away from everything. And I went in there for a couple items, and I noticed several things when I walked in my local Walmart. Number one was I hadn't been in that Walmart in about 6 months. So I'm telling you something, what I noticed 6 months ago, which was the last time I went in there. Okay? Obviously, I don't go shopping actually in the store that often, So I go in there and I notice that the aisles are wider, number one. Number two is there were several displays that would normally be up in the front that were gone. I mean, there's just a big wide open area there. Number four was there was a lot of spaces on the shelves that were completely empty. Now, there were still items there available, just not the kind like the Walmart brands. A lot of the Walmart brands were sold out. I mean, some of like the Del Monte and the Green Giant brands were still there, but a lot of the great value Walmart brands were gone. Forget pasta, forget rice, it's completely gone. Forget sugar, completely gone. Coffee, completely gone. Okay, the only coffee that was there was the real expensive coffee, and it was like Dunkin' Donuts and bag coffee. This kind of coffee I don't like. So that tells me that in my area, hopefully there's a lot of people waking up to the fact that they need to stock their shelves a little bit at the house. I'm hoping that's the case, and it's not the case where there just isn't no freight coming in and there's just nothing hitting the stores. I did notice that there was an inexplicable increase in the amount of store employees walking around. Like they didn't know what they were doing. They were just walking around. I don't know if it was because when I got there, maybe it was the shift change, or if that's just what they were, it looked like they were redoing the shelves, you know. So I don't know. I do know that for the few items that I went in there to get, it cost me 3 times what I expected it to cost me. So I think that it's a matter of time now before we see an actual dollar collapse. And I hate to say that because if the dollar does collapse, it's going to cause massive, massive unrest worldwide. Okay? I don't know what else to tell y'all. If you're not out there doing it, you need to get to doing it. And it's just crazy, right? It's just crazy. It's crazy what we're living through. They're talking about another COVID variant coming out. And I don't know if it's a new variant or it's an old variant re-rising. I don't know. Okay? All I know is that you need to, if you don't have it already, you need to have your supplies on hand for that possibility, you know, of having to take 2 weeks off, you know, and be away from everybody while you get over whatever variant it is that you might pick up. My understanding also is that they are coming out with a new vaccine. I'm assuming that this is going to be available very soon because they have been talking about it. So look to see that that's going to be available, especially for your vulnerable people. We need to take care of those who are vulnerable, right? As always, with anything dealing with your medical, whether you want to do it the natural way or do it through the pharmaceutical way, always consult with your doctor, okay? Because I'm not a doctor. The people on YouTube, 90% of them are not doctors, and everybody's situation is different, okay? So consult with your doctors and make the best decision for your family and yourself that you can from the information that you and your doctor have available. Now, that being said, I can tell you what my decision is. I have already made this decision. I made this decision 2 years ago after I had COVID. I was one of the first ones really that caught it because I worked in the ports and I got it off of some of the containers that came in off the ports. My doctor told me that since I had already had it, I didn't need to get the vaccine. When the boosters came out, we had the discussion about it, and I made a decision then not to get the boosters. And I haven't regretted that decision. Like I said, I had it COVID originally, and I ended up having to take 2 weeks off from work because of it, and I recovered from it, and it wasn't pretty, it wasn't fun, it was hard, okay? I would suggest that you make that decision now, what you're going to do. Like I said, I've already made my decision. I'm making that based on my medical history, what I'm going to do, and I would suggest that you do that yourself. As always, like I said, consult with your doctor. Go over your decision before, just going by somebody on YouTube. Because, like I said, 90% of the people on YouTube are not doctors. They don't know what they're talking about. okay, and you're talking about your health and your welfare and your family's welfare, and that's what you need to focus on, okay? And with a hurricane coming in, you know that this is going to probably present weather which could cause people to get the flu. Be sure that you get meds, and especially have 3 or 4 days of meds if you have any kind of medical condition like I do. Okay, you should have at least, I would say, at least a week's worth of meds ready to go at all times. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong by saying that. And that's really all I have. And I'm hoping everybody has a good, blessed weekend. And of course, if anything happens, I will get back up on here and try and give you as much information as I can think of to give you. But I just came out here to listen to the cicadas. And they are very loud. So, y'all have a blessed night. Bicycle.